today's session is prospects to profit. So that is what our daily BAUs looks like, to be honest, actually. So I'll just move forward to next slide. So if you see what like main stages we go through on prospects, if we see, so I would like you, anyone, if you have any questions in middle, please kindly let me know so that I can stop and answer for your questions. So we basically go through all these 7 stages, any leads that comes into us. So basically what we do is we do first, we would identify our customers who would be ideal fit for the business, and we'll like identify them from the resources across the platform like websites and internet, and obviously like databases which are available for us to use. So basically first thing is like we would do a prospecting, and then like we have to do go through we have to contact them, right? So basically second step what we do, like we contact them, and then like it can be any medium of contact, like we reach out to them via social media or like calls or like emails, anything that would match them. Or we can go for, if you're going for networking events, then it would be in direct one-on-one sessions, like talks, I mean, like yeah. So second thing is like making a contact with them, and then like third stage would be like qualifying the prospect, whether they are an ideal fit for our for subscribing our business at the time, or like is it like 3 months later, or whether they are really a qualified lead or they might not need our services, like something which we have to come to conclusion about that lead, whether they are a qualified one or not. That would be the third stage of any prospect that comes into a business. And fourth stage, like nurture your prospects. It's something like we do regular follow-ups. For example, it even applies for our daily life, right? If even if we put any mail for an any, even it can be a leave approval, we might definitely, if manager is stuck between us his or her daily are still, then we have to follow up. So this goes to everything. So I would like to quote this example as any leads that comes into it, we need to follow up them, and then we need to tell about our service, so introduce anything about us. So that's called nurturing our prospect here. And then fourth stage would be like present our offer, what we do, and what's the best we can do for them, and what would be the benefit they'll get out of it, something like that. It will, fourth stage would look like that. And fifth stage is a very very important and reality that we face on our daily basis, that is overcome objections. So initially we try to contact hundreds of people in a day, and we should be in a mindset where every 100 will not even a one contact, some days will go like not even one person would show an interest. So we should be in a mindset where we have to handle objections, and that is a very important point I would consider as a BD for consecutive 4 5 years now in a market. So I would tell that is a very very major point as overcome the objections. So last and final sweet spot is like close the sales. So everybody's lot of hard work that comes to an what to say, win-win for organization, and as a BDE, that's closing the deal for an organization. That would be the last stage. So next we would tell is like we will name them as a target audience, and obviously it is in lead generation we do on a daily basis. For example, we categorize our leads into geo specific. For example, each company have their sweet spot of geos which would work for them. Actually, I would say they might have done they might have a previous set of audience that are already their clients on that region, and we might get a lot of referrals from that area. So any geo specific, we would categorize our audience into these under these categories. Actually, this is like only very few I have mentioned, but a lot more we have considering on while taking leads actually. So one is geo specific, another one is job title. For example, for our service, we have to always consider whom would be the best. For example, if I'm going to talking about, I'll take an example of kites because I'm contributing towards it. So if I'm going to talk about the website, who will be the ideal customer, sorry, who will be the ideal job title who can take decisions out of it. So that is what I mentioned as job title. Probably the decision maker out of the services or product we are trying to reach out to them. So that is what. And industry, For example, we are doing websites, so obviously all the industries are an ideal customer for us. So going to the next department and job function, obviously if they are, as I said earlier, decision makers of any department. For example, either it can be a C-suite or engineering or technical, product design, finance, HR, it can be anything. And we should have also consider the revenue of the company, whether they could afford our service or not. Because if you see, we might have some basic plans for us, right? Monthly subscription is so and so numbers, and quarter subscription and yearly subscription, something like that. So we should always consider the revenue of the company, whether they could afford our service or not, something like that. So that's what the revenue is. And employee size whom we are catering to, whether it's a mid-sized business or like an medium-sized business or small-sized businesses or enterprises we are trying to cater to. So that's the size of the company I'm talking about. And tech stack, obviously, yes. For example, if I'm going to reach for SEO, the person, those who are not even using the GTM for the company, GTM is Google Tag Manager. For example, those who are not tracking the uh, traffic whichever coming to the website, we could obviously identify from the tech stack whether they are using GTM or not, or anything related to tech stack, anything. I'm running out of terms actually. So the thing is like, it can be anything. For example, if tech people are doing cloud services, we'll obviously go and search whether the company is using any cloud related technologies like AWS, anything. So we would search like that, and then if they are not using, so we could definitely reach out for them. That can be an added advantage on while generating the leads. So this is somewhat where we filter out our leads, and these are the cadences for filtering out them. So this is the second slide about. Hope it's clear. And I'm moving to next, which is market research. Third thing we do is anything after filtering. Actually, this even comes before the generating a leads. So we would like to always research about what we are. So yeah, market research is something we try to do before the lead gen, obviously. So first is thing, we have to define the problem or opportunity which we are trying to solve in the market, so that we can easily identify our group of people whom we are trying to reach actually. So that's the first thing. And develop your market research plan is something like we can go and read about. For example, I'll take only kites because I was into it for a month of period now. So I what we do is we try to read about more of sustainability industry, whatever the new innovations that are coming on a daily basis. We try to keep ourselves updated in the market, so that we'll have a lot of lot of points to talk about to them when we are reaching out to the audience actually. So the thing is like, next, collect relevant data and information. For example, we can talk about sustainability is not a thing, a very big thing over tech. Like before 5 6 years, if you tell, that was not a very big topic for everyone to talk about, right? So we have to collect some relevant data, and that region, how they are adapting, and how the government rules are being levied for the sustainability by the government, and the reduction rates, and every data that counts when you do the market research. So if I'm going to reach for Europe, let's say, I would collect an information like what is the government rules, and how many entities are being adapting the technologies and moving towards the sustainability. That kind of data points would help me to go and reach to the audience in a better way. So that's the third. And analyze data and report findings is again talking about the third point, and elaborate. For example, like collecting how companies are adapting, whether how much they are investing towards the sustainability, and yeah, so and so kind of data points would help us. And again, researching about their website, are they running their website on a green hosting or not. Every analysis counts, and we'll make it as a points, and we'll add it as a pitch. While we are pitching to them, we'll add them as a very good point to talk about them actually. So put your research into action is what I'm talking about. So after doing all these findings, we will put all those research into a pitch, and then we'll reach out to the prospects whom we are trying to do here. So this is all we do in market research actually. And this part is I would like to tell. So basically, they'll tell the term inbound and outbound. Okay. So I would like to tell what is the difference between inbound and outbound. In sales, we categorize the leads into these two under these two categories actually. So first, if you see, inbound activities are nothing but SEO, SMM, content, ads, form fills, book directly. So attracting customers with valuable content, we ourselves put a content on our social media platform, and we'll try to gain traction out of it. That is a complete inbound activity, and buyers control the process here because they decide whether to click in the content or to go and give a form fill, like give their information on the form fill. Something the control is completely on the buyer end, and you see more engaged and more aware because they read the content by themselves and they decide whether to subscribe or not. That's the third thing. And prospect initiate an inquiry by reading blogs. As I was telling, SEO SMM activities comes into this, whether we are publishing a blogs under our websites and posting it on our social medias, downloading videos, attending webinars, requesting a consultation. These all, if you see, it's completely on the buyer end. So they initiate the process and we go and tell them, okay, these are the next steps. So this is also an inbound activity, I would say. So last line is, I like this comparison, this liner very much. So customers find you on inbound activities. So while coming to outbound, which I kind of do an outbound activities a lot, because directly approaching a prospect, as I said, market research, we identify the prospect and we reach out. Salespeople control the process. What should be the next step? Which insight should I tell the client, or like what are the points I would like to tell them and impress the clients and make them to come back to us. So salespeople completely control this process, and actually this is more engaged and more aware. This is less engaged and less aware because they doesn't know anything about us. All of a sudden we go and do a cold outreach to them. So this is less engaged and less aware. Salespeople use strategies to contact persons such as cold calling, cold emailing, cold texting, and cold selling. Yeah, obviously, what we do in outbound is completely cold. So we find the customers. Ideally, I find the customers here for doing outbound activities. So if anybody asks you about inbound or outbound, I hope this will give you a clear picture about both the things. Moving on to next. So ideally, what will be the database looks like? I have put in some categories which we usually have about the clients, their name. Obviously, whenever we are trying to save a contact number in our phone, we try to put their name, either second name should be their company name. Usually, we would have, or like their place they live in, like anything. They are from Erode, they are from Tripur, whatever the region, or they are from US, whatever. So we try to, at least even on a daily basis for a context, we try to do a two categorization, like either their name, company, or their what to say, place they live in, or the friend circle we get in. Call, even if it is a college friend, we save by their college name, right? If I'm not wrong. So likewise, even for a company database management, if you see, we would have a lot of categories like this. And I have got some. I didn't give access to this file. I'll show you in last. So I have created a sample database. Nothing but this is all the categories that will be in the database. For example, first name, their last name, title, company name, emails, which department they belong to, and their mobile numbers, what are the size of the company we are reaching out to, which industry they belong to, any relevant keywords they are trying, whichever we are trying to solve is in their company description or not. Next, their LinkedIn URL, their website, which country, state, or city they live in. So and so. I hope this is the database looks like in business development. Next is like, yeah, we collected the database. What are we going with the database is the next question. So we do have a personalized strategy and content and A/B testing, which is, I would tell, like, I have a database. Now I have to identify which strategy is going to work on, because I did in a market research and I collected a various number of insights about the prospects, and how I'm going to put it in action is that personalizing the strategy. For example, hey, so and so, if the person is a CEO of the company, I came across your company and I saw your website is not on a green hosting, but your service is completely on a sustainability thing. What you think will give you a service like this? So this kind of offerings and the insights, whatever we have gathered, we are trying to put it into an action. And also we do a lot of personalization. For example, I hope you all receive an email from whichever categories you're trying to subscribe for. For example, some are interested in politics, some are interested in finance, some are interested in, obviously, like women's are interested in the shopping, like beauty products, cosmetics, anything. So we receive a lot of emails from everyone, right? So typically, like these, we have each one have a similar mindset, right? So if we are surfing some product, as Muralidhar said, they'll give us a lot of suggestion regarding in and out about that project. So that is what I'm trying to tell. That is what the personalization is all about. So some person collecting your data at the back end, and they are personalizing the outreach based out of your search, or even now we are very much aware, even our phone can hear what we speak and everything. So data is everything, and personalization is the complete what to say, control to impress an audience in a second, within a given time of emails. How long will we read? Even we have only 4 5 seconds to read a subject line and what they're trying to tell, right? So we have personalization is all about to capture the interest of a person we are trying to reach out. So this is what it's all about. And again, types of outreach I have given here is something like cold calling. Yeah, obviously we'll do. So while doing cold calling, we have to be, some members do a number game and some members do a very specified catered approach. So both works. It depends on the person and the company strategy, what they're trying to do. So one is cold calling and second one is cold emailing. As I was telling, we'll gain the insights and we'll put it into action. And here's something we can there's a lot of tools which we are going through. For example, we all use tools in softwares in a daily life, right? We use a lot of tools and softwares. I have mentioned something in the last slide, I guess. So I'll name some which, for example, which we use on a daily basis. So we identify our target audience and craft a compelling subject line. As I said, we'll get only 2 to 3 seconds of capturing time to capture the audience interest. So that is one thing. And we'll always give a call to action button. For example, if you go to Amazon, they'll give, right, to purchase, click here, something like that. So that is what call we that the term is called as call to action button. So next, we try to keep it concise and easy to read. Again, all these things are like to capture their interest and to bring the lead to the next stage of purchase, or next stage of talking about our services, or something like that. And again, while talking about cold calling and cold email, we have to be in a mindset where we have to accept the rejections a lot, because it's more like how this, I'll quote this session, but this time as you all talked, I would agree, but most of the time it will be like this, like one person talking to a lot of people and will never get reply back. So this is the perfect example of our daily life looks like. And obviously, yeah, this last 5 6 years, this LinkedIn is playing a very important role on the business development activity, because email, yeah, people open, still email is a very good channel for an business development, but still I would say LinkedIn is playing a very important role this last 5 6 years in a market where we are easily connecting with the people and easily able to find the decision makers of the company. And reach outs made very simple via LinkedIn. I would say this is a very nice tool, and I like this tool a lot in my daily activity. Yeah. So basic things, insights I have given is like every LinkedIn members can give a 250 connection request per week in a free account. And yeah, basic plan doesn't work for anybody. Even if you would like to build your network on LinkedIn, you can obviously go, you have a 250 free connections per week. If a person accepts your connection request, your credit get back to your account. For example, 250 you have sent, one person accepted, then one credit get back to your account. So anybody who's like who's willing to build your network connection, I hope this point would be a very useful thing for you. And link, the 250 connection is for premium, I have mentioned. For basic, it's 100 connection. And next, as I wanted to mention, some tools I have mentioned here, or some daily activity tools. For example, if you are a designer, you'd use Figma, Adobe, X, so and so. But if it is us, we go through all these things in a daily basis, like database, data mining tools, and warm up tools, emailing tools, and newsletter tools, and CRM and LinkedIn. Yeah, this is what our daily life looks like. And this part is also an important thing. For example, if you see post camp, we have sent the campaigns. Now we have, as I said, almost all outreach we do is kind of a silent thing. Only if we receive a reply from that end, it feel like okay, we are heard by someone, something like that. So instead of avoiding that whole emptiness, we would go and do a post campaign analysis with the tools we are purchasing. For example, how many emails we have sent in a day, how many persons have opened our email, how many have unsubscribed, and how many went to spam, something like that. We can get these analytics, and then we can always re-strategize our approach, and then kind of approach after a month or 2 months of time. So some pivot tables, yeah, we would use Power BI to show our dashboard, lot of things. This all comes under a post campaign analysis. And yeah, lead, this is a some term that is used by salespeople. Again, it's a band, which is budget, authority, need, and timeline. This is how we qualify a lead. As I was telling, we qualify leads on a first stage, right? That is one of a stage on sales cycle. So how we qualify, it's out of band. Yeah, budget and their authority and their need and their timeline. Inside sales terms, this is something, if someone is coming and approaching, if someone salesperson is coming and talking to you, some terms would be helpful, which we call it as hot leads, marketing qualified leads, sales qualified leads, future follow-ups, potential leads. Obviously, by the term you would come to know. Hot leads is something they definitely have a need at this time, and we could cater to them anytime now. So sales qualified leads, marketing qualified leads, we have to educate them a lot, and then we have to convince. Maybe if a hot leads is a close, it's going to get closed in 2-3 steps, but MQL would lead at least need for 10 to 12 steps to close the leads, or sometimes they may get out of our prospect list itself. So again, it depends. So these are some sales terms, and yeah, it was very happy to connecting with you all. Thank you so much.